Right now, we are still clamoring for restructuring. We are still calling for Nigeria to be restructured based on the Constitution of 1963, Republic Constitution. Based on our recommendation in the National Conference in 2014, that Nigeria should be restructured so that we can move forward. And when you realize that what is happening with our governance, the government of Federal Republic of Nigeria keep on borrowing. Just of recent, the Senate have approved another $22 billion. And I have never seen this kind of assembly in my life. Rubber stamp assembly. Anything the executive took to that assembly, 100% approval is already on ground.
It's automatic.
And even the Senate president said that he will not deny the President Buhari on approval of anything he brought to the parliament. And so definitely our democracy has been defeated. One of the reasons we have 3 tiers of government is check and balances of democracy. The government of the people, by the people, for the well-being of the people. The parliament, the red chambers and the green chambers should be a check and balances of the excesses of the executive. And the judiciary even should check the excesses of the parliament and the judiciary. But right now we have the remaining 2 arms of government in the hand of the executive. So definitely, I believe our democracy is being threatened. We are calling for restructuring of Nigeria. That's our call now. But if Yoruba now say tomorrow that we are tired of democracy, and we are tired of restructuring, we need full self-determination. Or am I to say no, as the Aare Gani? If the Yoruba people said restructuring is too late, Aare, now we need full self-determination as Oduduwa Republic, I will be the last person that will against them, and I will support them. There is no crime for you to say you need a new nation within a nation. The Southern Cameroon is living based on what the United Nations said. In July 10, they are moving out of Cameroon. Sudan, we have the Southern Sudan moved out of the Sudan. Eritrea moved out of Ethiopia. The Indian, Bangladesh, and Pakistan moved from India. We have different nations that have split it and become their own sovereignty based on disagreement on the way of living together. And when you listen to Chief Obafemi Awolowo in 1947, he said Nigeria is not a nation, it's just mere geographical expression. And when you listen to even Tafawa Balewa did not even believe in the unity of Ahmadu Bello did not believe in the unity of Nigeria from beginning until when they have the power in their palm. But notwithstanding, I believe that with restructuring, we may not witness war. We may solve our problem at least 60%, not 100%. So that in the process, maybe we can solve the remaining 40%. So my agitation still continues on restructuring, but we have been hearing about different groups said they want Oduduwa Republic. By the time we gauge the acceptance of the Yoruba people, we realize that the majority of the Yoruba people want Oduduwa Republic. I will not against it, I will support it, my brother. There is a lot of advantage, even having your nation. Already now we are a second-class citizen within the contents of Nigeria. Based on the appointment, based on the nepotism, based on what is happening yesterday. The Mayor Tiala told us that they hold Nigeria. That's a message enough. They hold Nigeria and they will rule Nigeria for life. And anything you hear from Mayor Tiala
does not even need the National Assembly.
What you hear from Mayor Tiala is not even stronger to the word of Arewa Consultative Forum now. Don't forget, This is the Meyati Allah that was eating us when we are in the process of Amotekun, calling us different names. Now they now told us now, they are walking to the stage of anarchy if the president did not check them. They said they will have their own security outfit. They have already recruited 5,000 and they will recruit more. And they said they have the right to stay in any person's land. That's beginning of anarchy. Any serious government should caution them with that statement. It's highly provocative. I saw about 3 or 4 monarchs who have sent that link to me. I have different calls. I said, I've seen it. But it's not yet time to respond to it. When you want to respond to issue, you prepare yourself, you respond robustly to it. I don't just jump to the media and say anything. The content of my statement have to be historical. But notwithstanding the statement coming from the North, what the government is doing has given the Yoruba zero zeal to believe in Nigeria. You know, Yoruba people don't believe on injustice. Yoruba people believe in justice. When you continue cheating Yoruba, and when Yoruba say, no, we don't agree with it anymore, that's the beginning of the problem. So I'm telling you, in the response of your question, if my people say now, today, they want self-determination or Oduduwa Republic, I'm ready. But now my agitation still stay, I still operate on the agitation of restructuring. We have a group, Yoruba World Congress, have already rolled out the agitation of Oduduwa Republic. And our people in diaspora are more interested about it. So if we realize that the pressure is becoming too much, we have to upgrade our agitation from restructuring to Oduduwa Republic. There's no sin in that. There is right to self-determination that even enshrine in the Constitution of the United Nations, that enshrine in the Constitution of the AU. There is a country in the United Nations they call Nauru. Nauru is not up to 20,000, talking of population. Sao Tome Principe is not even up to 700,000. Gambia is not up to 3 million. And we have more than 10, 15 African nations that is not up to 10 million in population. And the population of Yoruba people in Nigeria is about 60 million, even more than. Because I was in Abuja when they hold the census, maybe 2006. 2006 census, about 35% of Yoruba people was not counted. Yes, they refuse to be counted. They don't see any serious thing about it. 35% of Yoruba people was not being counted. A good example, my own country, Aare Gani, most of them go to farm. So, the Yoruba people in Nigeria is 60 million. We are talking of the Yoruba people in Brazil who believe, who identify with the tradition and culture of the Yoruba people, who are Brazilian. The population of the blacks in Brazil is about 55% now. And the entire population of the Brazil is about 200 million. So when you are talking of 55, that's about 110 million. And when you remove the Angola and some fellow Africa from the people who believe in our own tradition, who believe in the roots, their root is from the Yoruba land, they are about 80 million from Brazil. Talking of the different country in Caribbean country, the Haiti people. The Haiti people worship Shango. About 90% of them worship Shango. Venezuela, Ecuador, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Jamaica. So by the time you take the numbers from there, we can easily, from South America and North America, you will see nothing less than 130 to 140 million people. Not talking of the Benin Republic is almost 10 million people now. And Yoruba are 60% of the Benin. We have 6 million there. Not talking of Togo. Most of the Yoruba people, apart from the people that migrated to Togo, they are Shaki people. you will see nothing less than 3 to 4 million Yoruba there. In Cote d'Ivoire now, the population of the Ejigbo people in Nisha, Iwo, in Cote d'Ivoire will be almost 6 million people. Not talking of our sons and daughters that travel out of the country in 80s and 90s, who are in United States of America, and the black people in America who trace their roots to Yoruba land. Do you know the population of United States of America? 328 million people. And the black there is about 40 to 50 million people. So averagely, those who identify on their route, Badagry, Ife, and you are talking of a nation, a new constitution, not the constitution that was given to us by the military, 26 military of high occupation, a constitution that will be right by your people, according to your culture, according to your environment, according to your peculiarity, will be different from the constitution we are using in Nigeria, that impede every development. The 1999 constitution impede every development, every move to move Nigeria forward. We will write our constitution according to our environment, according to the demand of the people. Not anybody will impose it on us. The constitution of Nigeria was being imposed on us from 1979 to 1999. Secondly, we will know the criminal among us. So there won't be a room for them to use Abuja to torpedoes us. When we say, hey, in Yoruba land, they use Abuja to suppress us. We'll be able to solve our problem by ourselves. The thief will now put their hand in pocket. They know when they thief, they are going to jail. By then, we'll be able to organize our traditional institution. There will be a room for them to divide our obas again. We'll be able to have a cohesion between the traditional institutions. There will be a unity within them. By then, we'll be able to empower our investors. Not our investors that they will have to go and prostrate to them for them to empower them to use them against us. By then, we'll be able to put our religion organization in an harmony. Not by inciting them to cause a crisis that results in Boko Haram in the north, that insult to different bandits in different northern areas. That is affecting our image now today. If you are inviting an investor to Nigeria, by the time you talk of Nigeria, they say, that's a war-torn area. When you argue with them, they say, what of Boko Haram? Will you say Boko Haram Borno is not part of Nigeria? Will you say Adama is not part of Nigeria? Will you say Yobe is not part of Nigeria? So they will mention another thing, kidnapping. So by having a new nation, if it happened, having a new nation, our security architecture will be built according to our taste. We'll be able to know the common criminal and the professional criminal within us. Nip them by the board. By then, we'll be able to build a very good international relation with different countries, that our passport will not be something that will be rejected by many countries. Because when you hold a green and white passport now, when you get to a point of entry, you will see Tanzania citizens, they will allow them to go. They will stamp them. You see Ghanaian citizens, they will allow them Nigeria, they will still re-interview as if you want to get another visa. Because of the image that we have in the global community. By then, we'll be able to put sanity. You will not commit a crime on the basis of impunity. Not by when you commit a crime, they will call the ID, they will release you. Law is law, nobody is above the law. We'll be able to inspire like a country like Europe. I'm talking of resources. We'll be able to harness our resources. The solid mineral is rotting in many Yoruba cities. We can't harness it because of a draconian law and constitution we have in Federal Republic of Nigeria. By then, the leader will be involving, not the leader they have imposed on us from Abuja. When a president wants to approve a minister, you don't know them. Those who do not have a touch with their grassroots, those who did not have a very good character with their people, they will just announce them in Abuja and they become a minister. So when they are coming, they won't go to the grassroots. They will just go to their quarters in Ikoyi or Victoria Land. People can have an access to them. By then, we will have a very good electoral system. Not by a situation that you use the military, quasi-power, to oppress the people and rig an election. You bring somebody from one university and he will write a result according to the will of the federal government and their agent in the state. The whole world is laughing at us. They couldn't take us serious on the basis of election. You know what happened in the last election? Do you know how many people that was killed in Niger Delta because of election? The number of people that was killed in River State, Akwa Ibom, and Bayelsa, if you quantify it in the two elections, in the presidential election and governorship election, will be nothing less than 250 to 300. For what? For God's sake. For what? For God's sake. Not talking of collateral damages in many states. We are so lucky in Yoruba land, the only serious crisis we have is your state in Ibadan. But talking of the Niger Delta and part of the southeast and north, a lot of things happen, the media suppress it. A good person who have conscience, a good person who did not believe as a shameless person, who did not want the character as a shameless person, will not be proud of that kind of nation. But we don't have choice now. That's why we are agitating for restructuring. But if there are people who want a better new nation, I don't have option, my brother. I will not be the person that will lead the crusade and say, Ganilo Daleo.
You have to feel the pulse of the people.
Exactly. They won't say Ganilo Daleo because they are ready to sell you out in Abuja. They are ready to go and meet the Mr. President. He's the one that caused it. I know them. They will use you to negotiate. I know how they operate. And you won't know that they are the one doing that. By the time they see you, and they have already shot you in the villa.
That takes me somewhere. There was something you mentioned the other time talking about, in the past, whenever there is something like this, when one person is leading a chorus or an agitation that everybody believes in, there will be sudden mobilization of people. Everybody will be responsive towards it, and everybody will come out. I remember the June 12th agitation. I remember all those times during the OPC era, at the formation. But now, recently, it started happening that anytime they are trying somebody, even though people believe, maybe because of social media, a lot of people will just sit back. And some people will just fold their hands, others will support, but the mobilization is not as it used to be, or the turnout of people. And I take example of the case of Show in Abuja. Yeah. I saw that the people that came out for him were very few. And I was wondering, there used to be a time OPC and the rest of the people would have come out to say, no, this is about justice. This cannot stand.